I grew up fixing everything in our house while my sister got praised for breathing. When I was 14, I installed the entire bathroom sink myself, YouTube tutorials, trips to Home Depot with my own money, 3 hours on my knees with a wrench. Mom's response? That's nice. Now help your sister find her phone charger. Meanwhile, my sister once wiped down the kitchen counter halfway, left the sponge in the sink, and got a full Facebook post about what an angel she was. It wasn't just chores, it was everything. I mowed the lawn every weekend in 95-degree heat while she sat inside with the AC blasting, posting selfies. I drove her to her friends' houses because she didn't feel like walking. I carried all the groceries while she carried her phone, and every single time my parents acted like this was just how things worked. Like I was born to serve, and she was born to be served. The worst part wasn't even the work. It was the way they celebrated her for doing absolutely nothing. She got straight C's and they threw her a pizza party. I got straight A's and my dad said, don't get cocky. Grades don't mean anything in the real world. She bought herself a coffee, and my mom posted about how independent she was becoming. I bought my first car with money I saved from working at a hardware store, and nobody even acknowledged it. I told myself it would get better when I turned 18, when I could just leave. But I stayed because I thought maybe, somehow, they'd finally see me. Maybe one day they'd realize I wasn't just the repair guy, I was their son. The breaking point came during Sunday dinner. We were all sitting at the table, pot roast, mashed potatoes, the whole setup. My sister was scrolling through her phone with one hand, fork in the other. Then she dropped it. The fork clattered onto the tile floor right next to her chair. She didn't even glance down. She just looked straight at me and said, pick that up. Not asking, commanding, like I was the help. I actually laughed because surely she was joking, but her face was dead serious. She even tilted her chin up like some kind of movie villain. My mom's head snapped toward me. You heard your sister. Don't be difficult. I put down my fork. She has 2 hands. Gravity works the same for her as it does for me. If she dropped it, she can pick it up. My mom slammed her hand on the table. Don't start tonight, just do it. I pointed at the fork on the floor. It's right there. She's not disabled. She can bend down and grab it herself. That's when my sister smirked and said the words that changed everything. Servants should know their place. Servants. She actually said that, and she meant it. That's exactly how she saw me. Not her brother, her servant. Before I could even respond, my mom grabbed her plate and hurled it at my face. No warning, no hesitation, just pure rage. The ceramic edge caught my cheekbone, and I felt the sting before I saw the blood. Salad dressing and lettuce splattered everywhere. For a second, I just stood there in shock, hand pressed to my face. My sister didn't flinch. She just leaned back in her chair and said, I told you, servants don't talk back. I didn't yell, didn't curse, didn't give them the satisfaction. I just turned and walked upstairs to my room, locked the door, caught my breath. Then I pulled out my phone and started taking photos. The 2 cuts on my cheek, the swelling already starting, the food still stuck in my hair, every single angle. Proof. 2 days later, it happened again. Family meeting at the dinner table. My mom and dad lecturing me about attitude and gratitude and family roles. I tried to leave and my dad lost it. He grabbed his glass of water and threw it at me. It shattered on the edge of the table, spraying glass everywhere. Pieces cut his hand, my sister's leg, and my arm. I stood up slowly, brushed the shards off my shirt, and pulled out my phone. I took photos of everything, the broken glass, the cuts on all of us, their shocked faces. Then I looked at each of them and said, thanks for the evidence. I walked out that night with 1 duffel bag, went straight to the police station, and filed a report. Moved in with a family friend who'd always told me I deserved better. Got a job in Seattle 2 weeks later and never looked back. Built my own life, paid my own bills, picked up my own forks. 5 years later, my mom emailed begging for money because they're drowning in bills without their live-in handyman. I hit delete without reading past the first line.